It's kind of a one-stop shopping place. You got everything here for them.
Exactly right. We do all sports. Football obviously being the biggest, but we do all sports.
What age group do you guys start at?
We start with 6-year-olds, honestly. Our group after this will be 6 all the way up. This is our 8th grade through high school. A couple college guys in it, or seniors in high school. But we have 2 different groups and different age groups. Kids from everywhere. Farthest south we've had is Oceanside. The farthest north we have is probably Santa Clarita. Obviously the college kids, we have kids from West Virginia, UConn, Syracuse, Washington, every Pac-12 school, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. So we're pretty well represented in the college world. And then in high school, Southern California wise, we pretty much have all the guys out here. The Trayvon Sidney, Javon McKinley. It's a pretty good group.
Tyler Vaughns.
Yep.
I was talking to Tony Marshall. He said Biggie's going to be working out here 3 times a month.
Biggie's been here his whole, since a year ago he's been in here. He had a pretty nice schedule because he was ahead in school. So he would leave school at 12, he'd show up here at 1, and we just do individual, just him. So that video where he did his announcement was actually shot here, where he was working out and backpedaling and doing all that. That was in here.
Oh, was that?
Yeah. And the shirt he's wearing is one of our star shirts. Yeah, so he's been with us. I've had Biggie since 4th grade. When I came here, he just transitioned over with us. Great work ethic. I mean, the kid, everything he's done is for a reason, man. He's unbelievable.
And when did you start here?
I started here 2 years ago, so this is my 2nd year here. When I came back from the East Coast, lived out there for a year and a half, and then Jason David, who's the CEO, brought me in, helped out. Now I'm in charge of all football development, making sure we get these guys from youth level to whatever they want to go, whether it's Pee-wee to junior midget, or whether it's junior high to high school, or high school to college, or college professional. Whatever the step is, we want to just make sure we can give them what they need to support that and get them to the next level in whatever situation.
And how did you end up here? Was it the connection with somebody?
Yeah, it was a good relationship with one of the street coaches that was here. Went to high school together. He knew Jason real well. Me and Jason kind of grew up in the same era in high school. He went to Charter Oak High School, I went to Cathedral High School. Although we didn't know each other, we knew about each other. So when I moved back to California, it was kind of an easy transition. Had a couple guys coming in to work out, called him. He had the facility set up, and then from there it just kind of took off, and it became home. So now we're all here building together and working together and having a good time.
And just kind of go over kind of what you guys do with the program. You know, what type of exercises and other type of activities that you do to better these guys.
Absolutely. So what sets us apart, our biggest thing is STARS. A lot of people think it's STARS for a star. It's actually not. STARS stands for Sports, Training, and Rehabilitation Services. Our biggest strengths are our doctors in collaboration with our trainers. So being able to fully evaluate an athlete from the inside out. And what that means is with our FMS test, we test their physical movement, their mobility, their strengths, their weaknesses, and from there we all collaborate together to build the best athlete we can for each individual athlete. It's not a one cut up workout for one athlete. It's an actual individual workout for each player and each athlete depending on what they're good and what they're bad at. Whether it's your hip flexors are tight, your ankles don't have the flexibility that he has. And it's a great collaboration because the doctors see things differently than we do as trainers. Now when we put both minds together, we're able to do something special, and it's been a great part to our success, to building athletes to becoming better athletes, and really getting these guys to the next level.
Well, obviously nowadays, speed is, you know, one of the biggest things coaches look at. Is that something you guys work at here, speed training?
Yeah, our speed training is huge, and again, it goes back to that test. You know, a lot of guys, sometimes you tell them, hey, your knee's not lifted enough, your hips are too tight, but you can't just throw them in the weight room or stretch them. Sometimes you got to rehab them. Sometimes there's injuries there that they might not have known about, that we got to really get in and work on it, really get that muscle loose. Now we can build the muscle up. So once we do that, these kids are really able to reach higher ceilings than they ever thought possible, which for one kid might be a tight hip flexor because he's injured. It might be his lower back, and we all thought the whole time was his growing his hip. Doctor comes in, straightens him out, lines him up, and now we're able to come out and get better success on the field.
Are you also in communication with these college coaches?
Absolutely, absolutely. So a big part of what we do is recruiting. Obviously, colleges and relationships is big. Being around for as long as I have, you know, it makes a lot of good relationships, a lot of good people. And then the best part about it is we have great kids. Our kids coming on Sundays all the way to Anaheim to work out. You know, you're going to get a caliber kid that's going to be great in the classroom, that's going to be great in an environment, and is going to be a great locker room guy. We're really big on building an all-around person, not just an athlete, not just a football player, but a person. So what coaches get when they come to Stars, they get an all-around person. They get a kid that's going to be great in the locker room, that's going to be great in the classroom. They get guys that they can depend on when things are rough. You know, sometimes things are happening in the huddle. You know, we're losing the game, we're down. There's turmoil, the media tries to turn something into something bad. You need strong character athletes, and that's what we try to build on. So we connect with those colleges, and they trust the kids that come to Stars because of that.
Okay. Now, how many kids would you guesstimate that you have, or do you know the exact number?
I don't know the exact number. It's pretty high. If we were to go from youth all the way to high school, easily over 500 kids, 500 athletes.
Okay.
You know, it's been a great experience. We have kids from everywhere, from Oceanside to Santa Clarita, all the way to the East Coast that fly out just to work out. And you know, it's been a big family. We always say it's our family. It's not a facility, it's a family. So it's been a great atmosphere for them.
Is today kind of a day where there's fewer kids here because of the Nike Combine going on?
Yep. So what happens is our guys that are, again, it's the levels. So we have our guys that worked out yesterday, might be beat up, might be sore, they're off today, they'll come back in during the week. So today on a lighter day, we have the guys that are either younger or the guys that didn't get invited that now have a chip on their shoulder. So there's always somebody that has to work, somebody that needs something to do, and that's our goal, is to get those guys and keep them sharp.
And you had Jalen Green here earlier this morning, quarterback from USC. Can you just kind of tell us what were you working on with him today?
Yeah, so with Jalen, Jalen's an unbelievable athlete and a super high IQ football player. The biggest thing with Jalen, like a lot of guys, is they're such good athletes that they depend on their athleticism instead of their fundamentals. And it's been a great process with him the last 2 years, just really building him up to be a real quarterback and a pocket guy, which I think he's going to be, and he is now. And just really getting his balance down, getting his legs under him, letting him throw the ball with his full body instead of just his arm, which now has made him a little bit more accurate. He's gotten his ball a little bit more velocity, and has really extended his vertical ball probably 15 to 20 more yards, which is unbelievable. And it's really been a group effort. You know, we started with his body. He was banged up. His back was a little bit, you know, disaligned, so we had the chiropractor work on him, which helped his posture, which helped his shoulders, which eventually helped his ball and his velocity. So, you know, it was pretty good to see.
Another USC player that has worked out with you guys extensively is Isaac Whitney, and he's been getting rave reviews. Just, you know, there's just throwing sessions, but still, you know, the catches that he's making. And how long have you worked with him, and what were some of the issues that he had when he first got here?
Yeah, Isaac Whitney is the perfect example of a late bloomer. We see it all the time. You know, I think Clay Matthews was a walk-on originally at USC and was a late bloomer and developed into this unbelievable athlete.
Weighed 180 pounds.
Exactly. Isaac Whitney is that guy. Isaac Whitney was in high school. We've been working with him for about 2.5 years now. And when we first got Isaac, he wasn't very tall, he wasn't very strong. And then he just grew. He sprouted. His body developed really to where it needed to be. And the biggest thing is he had a small guy's athleticism that stretched into a 6'3" frame. So it was a great experience working with that kid, because as he grew, the athleticism stayed, the hips stayed, the feet stayed. And if you watch him move and develop, he really runs like he's 5'9", but he's 6'3", which is what separates him from a lot of athletes and a lot of guys. And, you know, really the strength, getting his body right, his core strength right, has been humongous factor for him. And but he's got a never say no attitude. Any day we have to be here, he's here. When he first moved to California from Oklahoma, we were working 3 days, 3 days a week, 2-a-days, just getting after it. We'd have a strength session, we have a speed session, then we have an actual fundamental session. And again, he just never said no. He showed up. He's a blue-collar kid that puts his head down and goes to work, so we love it.
Got to be pretty satisfying to watch these guys go from being, small guys, young, really young, to end up getting D1 scholarships, going on to the NFL and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's definitely.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable feeling, to really give back to these kids, to the community, to be able to use a sport to give kids an opportunity to further not only their education but their life skills, their career goals, their family, and really separate themselves from the norm. A lot of the kids we work and service are inner city kids, and I was an inner city kid growing up, single parent home, and sports really saved my life and changed what I did.
Yeah.
So it's only right for me to give back, and it's a great blessing to really see these guys develop from Marquise Lee to now Isaac Whitney's. It's really a great story to see these guys go from where they started to where they're at now.
All right. Well, hey, definitely looks like you have a great thing going on here, and right now we're just looking at some of the future kids that we'll be writing about and talking about, and
that's it.
Watching play.
And I'll pull a couple guys out for you.